All right, guys, what's up? Welcome to Relatable Nerds. I'm Ilsa.
And I'm Kyra.
Today we are going to be recapping Loki episode 3 and 4 because we last time we recapped 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're up to 3 and 4. If you're watching this, that means episode 5 already came out, but you know what? We're filming before that, so
we're just totally ahead of the game.
We're really on top of things. That's one of the things that you all know about us.
Right. Always on time.
But thank you so much for joining us. We are live from the Lincoln Lodge yet again. We're really excited. This is like the best comedy club in Chicago, so come check it out. Thank you again to Christine, our lovely producer. Producer, director, sound engineer, just everything.
All of the above. Painter of this immaculate table. Are you kidding
Oh my
me?
God, she painted this
you
table.
Guys, I don't know if she's taking commissions, but I mean, if you need, a table painted or some type of art in your house, Christine is your lady.
And today we're sponsored by Smart Water. Crisp and delicious. But yeah, so we'll be getting into that. But first, we'll be talking about nerd news. And before we even get into that,
here we go.
Kyra, how was your week?
Never prepared to answer this, but now it's all coming back to me. It was Halloween a couple days ago.
It was.
And my favorite holiday of the whole year. I had 2 costumes planned. Didn't wear either of them because Chicago decided to just switch up the holidays and be completely Christmas on Halloween. I think it hailed, it snowed, it was sunny, it was windy. We got all 4 seasons in like one day.
It did hail. It was so creepy. I was like, what
it
the
was
heck?
like hail. It was like they were big. They were like little cotton ball sized hail balls.
I got
and I'm
scared.
like, oh my God. So I had big plans for Halloween. I did like a little staycation downtown. I stayed in Fulton Market and that was really nice. And we were going to dress up and I had a Barbie costume. I had to do Barbie. I had to just get it just to have it because I know I'm going to cosplay at it.
Which one was it?
Just the classic cowgirl Barbie.
Cowgirl, yeah.
I got the hat and everything. But of course it was way too cold to do that because it's like a tank top and that costume was just so thin. And then I also got like a little fairy costume, which was cute with like wings and the elf ears and everything. But of course it was a dress. Wasn't going to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just got drunk, went to Emporium, played a bunch of video games. I'm like really, really good at Galaga.
Okay.
That's my thing. And it's like I just go to Galaga and I play it for like hours at Emporium. And
I love going to Emporium.
It's so much fun.
All the boys at video games.
They don't know what to do. They're literally
so
don't know
bad
what to
at
do.
Video game, like old school video games, though.
There was a crowd watching us play Mortal Kombat at one point because I was like Sub-Zero for a while because that's my favorite. And someone was like, oh, well, you have to change. I bet you're not going to like win with another character. And so I changed the Scorpion. Immediately, like, just keep winning and winning and winning. And I'm like, I don't even know, like, whatever. But I mean,
also, like, why
fun.
do you have to change it?
I don't, because they were like, just fucking, I guess, pressure. And I'm like, well, I'm going to prove a point. I'm fucking good at Mortal Kombat. But honestly, I haven't played Mortal Kombat on like an actual like game system because it's always broken wherever I go for some reason. But this one was working and was a little janky, but it was fun.
Yeah.
I love Mortal Kombat. I need to get the new game because there's like a new one that just came out this year. So yeah. How was your week?
Oh, it was really good. Yeah, it was Halloween.
Did you dress up?
I did not either. I did have a Barbie costume as well, but I was going to be President Barbie.
You had a Barbie costume too.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Obviously, I feel like every woman in the world was supposed to get one. Like that was like our mission.
Unsaid like
year.
Rule here, like girls, we're got one.
Yeah. But I was supposed to work on Tuesday and ended up getting like called out. So I went out, but I was not gonna wear the costume. Obviously,
it's kind of insane.
Yeah, exactly. And then I went out like Saturday to this. This was also last minute. I went to like a Pilsen bar hop. It was like a Halloween bar hop. So I got to see there was like so many like witches and superheroes and there was ninjas everywhere and it's so cool. I was like, oh man, because I was shooting content for Kaiser Tiger. Shout out Kaiser Tiger, follow them on Instagram. I was shooting content for them. So I was already close by, and so I was like, I'm just going to go meet up with my friends over here. So I didn't go home to get a costume.
Okay.
And they were like, well, that's so weird because you like never miss an opportunity to walk around as Spider-Man. So what are you doing right now?
We
And
have
I
the
was like,
same people that say the same things because that's what I was told too. I'm like, oh, you're not going to be Spider-Man this year, and I'm like, maybe.
I'm like, that's like a daily wear thing. It's
I
not like a
know.
dress up costume. Okay, I'm literally a variant of Spider-Man. Okay, that's
Right.
why I wear it. But then on Monday, just wanted to shout them out. I went to a food pop up at Ludlow Liquors.
Okay.
It was Chubby Boy Burgers. They just got written about in the Chicago Reader. And I've been to one of their pop-ups before. They had them like all summer long. Really great burgers, like the best in the city. I'm gonna say it. I said it here and now, and I totally
words.
believe it. But they really are, and it's not just because I'm friends with them. But it's like two guys. It's like Hispanic owned, so
hell yeah.
that's why I'm happy about it. It's like Oscar Zargova and Cesar Ordaz, and you know what? They do a really good job, and I don't know if there's going to be any more like pop-ups coming because it was more like a summer thing and the weather was bad, but Monday was crazy. It got so popping in there. Like I had
Nice.
never seen it like that busy.
Nice.
And everybody was having Chubby Boy burgers, and they're great. Yeah, so
I love a
check
Monday
them out,
night.
too.
Yeah, a Monday night. Just
Yeah.
wild bar. That's how you know people really want to be there and like
A
drink.
Monday.
If it's a Monday with the weather, how it's been in Chicago, and you're still going out, you're dedicated.
Just
You
eating
really like it.
burgers and drinking.
You really enjoy it.
It was, yeah, that chubby sauce, perfect.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that was my week.
I love it. You know, I will say this too, note about Halloween. I feel like we'll just like get costumes every year, but we like accumulate them because we go to so many conventions. So it's like, truthfully, if you're a nerd, Halloween is like once a month.
Yeah.
You know, we're just like walking around your house. So I think that's why if we didn't dress up on Halloween, we're like, oh, that's okay. Like I'm going to a con this month, you know, or next month.
Yeah, it really
It's like,
doesn't
it's
matter.
okay.
Because, yeah, like
Yeah.
like how we get made fun of. You never like miss an opportunity to be dressed as Spider-Man. I'm like,
do it
yeah,
next
I'm not
month.
going to do it while everybody else is dressed as him. That's embarrassing.
I'll just randomly show up to my bar in the Spider-Man costume. And I'll like bartend sometimes like that. And it's a fucking trip because sometimes it'll be slow, sometimes it'll be busy, and people will just be like, what the hell, you know? But
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah,
It's a good time.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So we have some nerd news today.
Yeah.
We have quite a bit.
Sure do.
We'll try to get through it pretty quickly. But the one that I have written down here is that Chandler is dead.
Oh my God.
Matthew Perry has died in a hot tub at age 54, I believe. And
Tragic.
it is tragic. What do you think about it?
I wasn't the biggest Friends fan, but obviously, unless you were like under a rock your whole life, you know who Matthew Perry is, you know Chandler, you know Friends.
Yeah.
I don't really know too much of his career besides Friends. I just knew a lot of people that loved him, and obviously it's evident after he passed the amount of people that loved him that I weren't really aware. But I think it was very interesting, his death. Like not interesting, but just like, oh, like he died,
Tragic.
he drowned in his house. Like it's just totally just didn't even see that one coming, you know? And obviously as we get older, more and more people, you know, are going to pass, and that's a part of life. But I did not see that coming in 2023. You know how they have like, oh, this wasn't on my bingo card. I didn't have Matthew Perry dying on my bingo card this year.
No, absolutely
Like,
not. And it's hard to kind of, I still don't believe it. It's like weird.
Yeah.
I know he said something about how when I think he wrote in his book or something that when I die, I'll probably be most remembered for Friends, but my actual favorite role was in the movie Fools Rush In with
Right.
Salma Hayek.
Makes sense.
I was like, yeah, I would also probably cherish those moments as well. We all
Right.
know how I feel about Salma Hayek.
Yes.
So. I don't know. It's kind of like weird because he apparently is not that great of a dude. Like he wrote how he kind of harassed Jennifer Aniston on set and like made her super uncomfortable. Like
Kind of gross.
so disgusting. But what white guy in the 90s wasn't
I was
terrible and
gonna
disgusting?
say, at
you
least
know?
he like fessed up to it. I guess it doesn't make it right, but at least he like knew and he was aware of how much of an asshole he was being to her.
Yeah.
It was also really interesting. Like obviously when that happened, I saw all of these articles pop up and like all these people, there's always like a good conspiracy out there and you're like, these people are crazy or whatever, but you just click the link because you're like, oh, what do they mean, or what happened? And apparently before he passed on his Instagram, he his favorite character of all time, like person, was Batman. He was obsessed with Batman, and he was posting all these like cryptic Instagram posts, like just weird things, and just like the Batman logo, and just like, don't worry, I got the city tonight. I'm the Matman. And he did this for like a couple weeks before his death. And then his last Instagram post was of him in the hot tub that he drowned in. Isn't that weird?
That is so weird.
I don't know. I'm not saying there's a conspiracy. Don't come for me, internet.
I think
it's
aren't
weird.
they checking for like not pills in his system, but like things that he's prescribed.
Right.
Which, I mean, if you take like too many Ambien and you go in the hot tub, like you might fall asleep in there and drown. So
it looked like a nice hot tub. It looked like a massive hot tub. I mean,
he makes so much money.
Yeah,
their friends, like, they still make residuals because it's like always constantly on every single day.
Somebody was telling me about that I think the first year, I forget how much he made, but by the next year they were making like millions per episode.
Yeah,
it was like insane.
Yeah, like the final season was like some insane number.
Yeah, he never had to work again, honestly.
No.
But I could see why he could be frustrated. And a lot of people in Hollywood, that young role you get in the beginning and then you're just branded as that person forever. But, drugs, prescription drugs, alcohol, booze, it happens. And it's really sad and tragic. And R.I.P. Matthew Perry.
It is tragic.
I wish I liked Friends more.
Talented people are always so tragic.
Yeah, it's true.
Sad.
I will say, though, like when I was little, my mom was obsessed with Friends. That's the only connection I have to it. And like back in the VHS, when you would record things, in those days. And my mom, I remember when the finale came on, we watched it and we recorded it and she was crying. I've seen my mom cry like just on like maybe 4 times in my life. She's not a very emotional person, and she was bawling her eyes out, and I started crying because I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? And she still has the VHS.
Yeah.
I'm getting emotional as I say that because it's like when people you love are like sad about deaths, you're like, oh my God, like I can't believe I'm crying about Matthew Perry on the podcast, but geez, it's sad.
It is sad.
It's sad.
There was like I used to cry whenever I would see my mom cry, but then she died, so now I don't have that anymore, so I'm like really lucky.
Yeah.
So.
Relatable Nerds therapy session. Mommy issues on this podcast. No daddy issues, just mommy issues on here.
Oh, there's plenty of daddy issues as well. But what is our next nerd news? I know you have a bunch of them. We should just like rapid fire
we're gonna get through this, you guys, quick. But just wanted to make a note to everybody listening. Invincible is an amazing comic book, amazing TV show that premiered on Amazon Prime, I think 2 years ago now.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
It was a while.
This season 2 premiere is happening tonight, the day we're recording this. So we're going to be recapping that. From this point on, we're really, really excited about it. If you guys haven't watched Invincible, it's a very binge-worthy show.
Then you need to watch it. I had to nearly like beat you up to get you to watch it. You were like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
I think I watched half of it in like one night. And I'm like fucking cracked out on coffee. I'm like,
didn't you like get caught up like immediately?
Oh my God. I think it was like 3 days. And I'm like, oh, Seth Rogen's in this too. Like there's just so many good people. It's like such an amazing cast.
It's so good. I read that comic book from issue 1 to its ending.
And and
it was, I loved it. It was like the greatest thing ever. So highly recommend. I can't wait for season 2.
And just a little note on that, you guys. There's a lot of rumors floating around. We're Marvel girls on here and we love Spider-Man. There is a couple issues of that with Spider-Man crossing over into Invincible. So you never know.
Oh, like outside episode or issues? Yeah.
So could be cool.
It gets crazy.
Sometimes that makes people watch things,
Invincible so good. I'm thinking about it again.
And on that note, you guys, there are so many Marvel things going on this week. A lot of them, as we always classically say, we've been knowing because we have been. If you're a comic book nerd, you can predict a lot of the stuff that's going to happen. But unfortunately, a lot of the time, for some reason, these Marvel execs and writers can't get it right, you know? And I think it's kind of catching up to them right now. All they had to do was listen to Relatable Nerds, and they had the blueprint.
All
to
they
succeed.
had to do is listen to Nerds, because we
Literally.
actually know it, and we know it so well. It's like sick, and they're going by like the wrong rules. I feel like execs shouldn't be in charge of anything.
No, it
Also,
should be...
pay people that are good at stuff.
Seriously. So yeah, you guys, the reboot of Marvel, we're gonna call this topic of the nerd news. The internet really is in shambles over all of these alleged rumors. But first, let's get this one out of the way, because it's gonna be a while till this movie comes out. But I'm okay with it because Blade is one of our favorites. Blade was the beginning of superhero movies in the 90s. Obviously, Wesley Snipes portrayed Blade back in that original movie and the series. And now we have Mahershala Ali, an amazing actor, who was casted as Blade a couple years ago now. And they wrote the whole script, and he was like, yeah, I'm not going to do this.
That's amazing.
And allegedly now it's coming out. The narrative of the script was going to be basically led by women and filled with life lessons, which obviously those two things go hand in hand. But if you've seen Blade, that really isn't what Blade's about. If you see Blade, you know it's just about gore, blood, killing vampires.
I mean, he's usually like taking care of a woman.
He
also.
is, and his mother had obviously a huge influence on his life. But you know, it's an action vampire movie, and I feel like if you're gonna redo Blade, you got to do it right. It can't be.
I wonder how they're gonna do it, because I'm just thinking like just re-release the old movies, because they were amazing. I still watch them all the time to this day. Like it's like a comfort movie, not because it's like a comforting like warm movie, but because it's like a childhood favorite.
It
and
is.
that kind of like, you know, it's a cozy. I think they should just re-release it.
They should. I mean,
theater.
I hope they do like a special re-release, like when it's about to come out.
That would be so.
Because I never got to see. Did you get to see it in theater? I think we were like a little too young for that, and I'll never forget. I think that's what got me.
Yeah, these are old like old like VHS tapes. Yeah,
I don't know. Blade got me into horror to begin with, because that entrance like club scene where there's all that blood falling down and they're just like raving and insane. I'll never forget that.
It's so good.
It's so
and
good.
That song like
it's so good. I don't even know what it is to this day. And as soon as you did it, I'm like, damn, charades. I know exactly what that is. But yeah, you guys, the Logan writer, which Logan was an incredible movie. Michael Green is now hired to restart the script from scratch. So I trust that guy. Logan was amazing. I lost track of how many times I cried during Logan. We'll leave it at that. We'll talk about Blade in the future, I think, because we got to get through a lot of nerd news. But I'm really excited for Blade. That's going to be incredible. Take as long as they need, because I don't want them to fuck that one up. You can fuck up everything else. Just don't mess up Blade. Don't do that to me.
They're already starting at such a disadvantage, I feel.
Right. And then the next news announcement in this reboot of Marvel is moving away from focusing on Kang for the multiverse. Obviously, we all know this one was coming. Jonathan Majors is under a lot of heat in the past year.
He was dropped by like his PR firm and his agent, I believe.
Everybody. You know, as soon as that like Army commercial came out, like the week after, shit hit the fan of everything that was going on. And it was just like, you know.
All of his ads dropped him, and the only people that kept him on was Marvel. And they're like, well, we're going to wait and see.
Well, this guy is literally the basis of everything we're doing for the next 10 years. So
they really messed up by putting all of their eggs in that basket.
It sucks, because I see why they did, because he's so talented and he's a great actor and he had so much potential. He still does. It's unfortunate that this happened. But there's a light on the horizon. There's something stirring in the Marvel.
That he sucks as a person.
Good thing Marvel has a plethora of never-ending villains that we can just pick and choose from that they haven't really done yet. We don't have to keep doing Avengers, although they're probably going to do that again. They're going to focus and shift into Doctor Doom now, which, again, done but knowing. I think we've been saying that since Moon Knight released, because in Latveria, that's where Doctor Doom kind of reigns over. And we were pretty set on them showing Doctor Doom in that show. And they could have easily done that. And I think that would have brought... Moon Knight was already very successful with a lot of audiences.
I loved Moon Knight.
If they would have just dropped Doctor Doom in there for a second, Marvel probably would have been okay right now.
Yeah, but I don't think Oscar Isaac would have allowed it, because he was like, I don't want anyone outside to be in my TV show.
It's mine.
Yeah, he was like, I don't want like that Olsen girl.
Right. He's like, no. We don't need
don't
a
want
witch
any
in
of the-
here.
I don't want any of the Olsens popping in here,
Yeah.
like pretending.
I can play all the versions of myself and we can just call this a show. But Doctor Doom is amazing, you guys. Just look up Doctor Doom if you don't know who he is. He's this larger than life villain, green cape, big metal, just insane, just evil person. And there's a lot of rumors about who's going to play him. Maybe Adam Driver.
He would be so good.
I can die after that movie comes out. Or
we decided that it should be Adam Driver.
It should be Adam Driver. His voice is just it. That's all I hear.
Yeah.
Whenever I see a picture of Doctor Doom, I'm like, I can hear Adam Driver talking to me. Or Henry Cavill. There's another rumor about him, since that guy really needs a job right now.
I love Henry Cavill.
I'm different.
I'm so sad about The Witcher.
Right. Either way, though, with this Kang news, it does seem pretty evident that this is possible, because with the new Loki episodes that we'll get into, it does seem like they're shifting away from Kang being everything. And it seems like it's more like Miss Minutes or Ravonna.
Yeah.
And you don't need Kang anymore, which is
And
wild.
they even said that in episode 3?
Episode 3.
Like, we don't need him.
Word for word. And we're like, Miss Minutes. We knew it. And then you guys, next up, Marvel is reportedly looking at bringing back the original Avengers cast with Iron Man and Black Widow.
Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson.
Perfect. I
Right.
love them. Anytime I see Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, again, that's the only thing he ever has to do for the rest of his life. Sign me up. I love him. I know he was just an Oppenheimer. He did a great job in that. But he was born to be Iron Man.
He is a good actor.
He's great.
He's so great at Iron Man, though.
Yeah.
It's just confusing because it's like they obviously killed him and Black Widow in Endgame. So, I mean, it's not like they haven't killed other characters before. I mean, Loki's dead as well, and he has 2 seasons of a TV series.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But and they like, I'm thinking like, there's just so many things.
There's so much. The
Done. There's
multiverse
so many
really
things
just
that
opened
they've
up
done.
all the doors.
Like the Quicksilver in WandaVision and how it was the wrong Quicksilver. And oh god, the way that they just like
Evan
throw
Peters.
these things in here.
And I think it's all going to add up. And I think, again, if you're a comic book nerd, you saw this one coming. I think we actually were thrown a curveball in Multiverse of Madness, because we thought he was going to come back as the Invincible Iron Man there,
Right.
which he didn't, which I'm fine with. I think that was okay. It was a little too soon.
It was a little too soon.
But I think the only problem I have with this is that his sacrifice throughout Infinity Wars and Endgame would just not be as great, as noteworthy, because his death, again, tissues, that was sad.
Yeah, it was really sad.
That funeral, oh my gosh.
But
that's my only problem.
Marvel has been setting us up for this kind of stuff to happen, because it almost seems like, these characters aren't working. It's like a cop-out.
Yeah.
But they've been setting us up for like them coming back this whole time, like doing multiverse things. Yeah. I mean, the Spider-Man No Way Home movie had multiple villains. All the villains died, and then came back to life in this movie. So
no one can really die.
And then if you watched Marvel What If, which if you haven't yet, please go watch it. There was this moment where Black Widow is the only one left in her universe because everybody else has died. And the Watcher brings her to a universe where they lost their Black Widow. And she's reunited with like her, her family. Yeah. And oh God, it was like so sad and so happy, but everyone else has to kind of like go back to their universe, but the Watcher like lets Black Widow come back to go to this other one, and it's like, no, she's not the same one, but
they're hinting at
they want that one to complete them,
right?
And I just feel like, did they just tell us exactly what they're doing in What If?
What If is so criminally underrated. I can't believe the amount of people that haven't watched that show, especially because they're doing so many things based off it in the future. Like the Zombies show, the Marvel vs. Zombies, that's literally What If. And I think we recapped that episode, and the first thing we said was, this needs to be a show.
Exactly.
Then, again, they listen. And I think
Thank you, Marvel.
Incredible. I think also after that epic Black Widow movie, it was a little confusing because it came out after she had already passed in Endgame. And that was just such a good movie. And she made an ultimate sacrifice too. And just to see everything that happened with her backstory, just, you know, I wasn't a big Black Widow fan before that. And I think that was because they never presented her in like that much of a likable way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
she was always pretty background.
Yeah.
And she was also like very, her character was, also she was standoffish. Like she didn't really.
Right.
She wasn't very warm,
no,
which is fine.
Which makes sense why, you know, they needed this movie to kind of show where she comes from. And I will say on this note, please give the Marvels a chance. Just because it's a woman in a suit saving the world instead of a flying penis doesn't take away from the storyline or the action. I think the Marvels is going to be, again, underrated. Nobody's going to go see it.
Oh, they're already crapping on it. They're already so mad at it.
It's so wrong. And it's like the amount of people that haven't watched Miss Marvel or just gave up on it because it's not the same exact Marvel show predicted story is embarrassing, honestly, if you're not giving it a chance. Like, come on, you know, grow up a little bit, you know? But yeah.
Expand your horizons.
Seriously.
Women are people too. We shouldn't have to keep saying it.
And if anything, I feel like the Marvels will end up being more epic and have a storyline that actually makes sense. Not just, oh, bad guys, I'm strong man in suit, let's kill. And then bring somebody back from the dead, you know?
Yeah, because that's so overdone well.
It's everything. And then everyone's always complaining that it's the same Marvel movie over and over again. And then
it's
they
like,
wonder
that's what you want. What are you talking about?
Exactly. And then, you know, Marvel, I will say this, though. They're pretty shitty at movies, but they're excellent at TV shows. So they still have something cooking. Everyone's giving up on them now. But
I personally thought She-Hulk was a disaster, but
I still enjoyed the hell out of it.
I did.
I
did have fun.
It was all over the place. And that is our Marvel recap, you guys. One more nerd news before we jump into Loki. House of the Dragon Season 2 officially premiere date is going to be summer 2024.
Yes. I'm so excited.
Less than a year.
I can't wait for that. I can't wait to recap that too.
Oh my God.
I feel like we have a lot of fun with those because it's so serious and we can't be serious.
Yeah, and they're all like rated R and mature. It's not like Marvel PG-13. They're just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But really excited about that, you guys. You have time to binge all of Game of Thrones and all House of the Dragon still because it's that easy. All right, let's get into Loki.
Yeah.
We got episode 3 and 4.
Yeah, episode 3, Loki recap. If you listened to our last episode, we predicted that this episode would probably focus on some other characters because we haven't really seen them. And it really did in a way. We still got to see Loki and Mobius and OB, but we do start with catching up with that nasty orange bitch, Miss Minutes.
And sour orange.
She has teamed up with Ravonna Renslayer.
Right.
Kind of a weird duo, but I guess, you know,
it is really weird.
It begins to make sense like as the episode goes on because we kind of don't really know why they like dip together.
Right. I feel like she just preys on the weak and they have nobody else, so they just have to team up.
Well, it seems like they have history.
Right. It does.
And a lot of it.
A little too much history, if you know what I'm saying.
Because she's about to reveal things by the end of this episode that Ravonna just doesn't know. But they teamed up to bring back Kang, so that brings them to Chicago in 1863 to drop a book, the one that Ouroboros wrote, into the childhood home of Victor Timely. And that is just too much for my brain to really process because I don't really understand how that works, like how this already existed. Let's drop it in this kid's house and then time jump 30 years so he's an adult and like doing things and we'll just see like what comes of it. But apparently this was Kang's plan the whole time that he had shared with Miss Minutes, like if I ever die you need to go here and do this. So it's very strange.
She knew everything all along.
Oh, yeah. She knows everything.
Totally.
She's an AI. Aren't we? No wonder she's the villain.
Right.
The AI is such a villain.
Here we go.
The villain of like 2023 is AI.
It's Miss Minutes. She should be just
Minutes.
the icon for it, the fucking mascot.
It's amazing. But yeah, so I also wanted to note that they drop off in 1863, and I believe slavery hadn't ended for 2 more years. So it must have been really scary for Renslayer to be walking around in Chicago. And I feel like she did get some looks. I mean,
and
more than an orange clock, you know?
Right.
I just wanted to say that. I just want to put that
good,
out
good
there.
notable history.
I was like, no, I was concerned because I was like, is something crazy gonna happen?
You never
right
know.
now?
Actually,
but Marvel
that's a good
wouldn't
point.
do that.
No, they couldn't. We're just gonna pretend it's not happening in this timeline.
Yeah, they're just pretending it's not.
Yeah,
happening.
everyone's friends.
Yeah, but meanwhile, back at the TVA, OB informs the team that they're all going to die because the TVA is going to collapse on itself because they can't handle all these breaks in the timeline. But if they did a system reset or help the temporal loom, then they could, save it and make it so it can handle all of these different timelines. But that requires He Who Remains.
His aura.
Right. Or possibly Miss Minutes, because they think Miss Minutes could do it as
She's
well.
like the head honcho key to everything.
So they're like, well, we don't have the aura of He Who Remains because he's dead in a chair, like slumped over at the end of time.
True.
And so they're like, well, let's find Miss Minutes then. And the way they find Miss Minutes is to track Renslayer. And so they do. So now they're both in the same timeline. It's 1893. That is the title of this episode. They're in Chicago at the World's Fair.
Yeah. The World Fair, which actually did happen in history. That was the last good thing Chicago had, I think. So
yeah, and Mobius was like, wow, how did I forget about this? This is such a big thing in time.
It's cute to see him actually go places, because he's so by the book, doesn't want any emotional connection, and it's cool to see him live it up with Loki a little bit before they die,
Like having that popcorn.
Yeah.
What were they having? Was it caramel popcorn?
It was Cracker Jacks, the original Cracker Jacks. Yeah, and they got it from a stand.
Jacks.
And yeah, that was cool. That was a cool little tidbit.
I didn't catch that. I was like, what the heck are they eating? Loki hated it. But they kind of stopped for a second because the gods, the Norse gods, there's statues of them, and Loki is not there. But Thor and Odin are there, and so he's like, nobody even knows Balder the Brave, and Mobius is like, oh yeah, I know him, and he's like, you know what? Sometimes I forget you're one of them.
Yeah.
That's crazy, and he's like, that's so cool, and I think that was for the audience to kind of remind us how powerful Loki is, because he's had his powers stripped away living in the TVA, so he's basically just mortal. None of his powers work there. So we kind of have seen, and he always loses in the past, so we kind of are forgetting how powerful he is, but we did catch a lot of his magic in episode 2. Yeah. And then he also whips it out episode 3, which
He's
is great.
humanized in the show,
He is.
Definitely.
Oh, it's amazing. So where was I?
So they basically go into, one of the showings, a stage.
Yeah.
Victor Timely, which his character is amazing. He looks so cool. He looks like an Einstein variant almost, just hair out to here, the glasses. And it's obviously Kang. This is a variant of Kang. And he comes out with his loom.
His temporal loom.
Temporal loom. And everybody freaks out about it. They're like, oh, let me buy it. And Ravonna and Miss Minutes are there. They're going to tell him what's up, and Mobius and Loki walk in.
He sees Ravonna, and he's like, damn.
He's like, wait a second.
Okay, I could talk to you for a second.
Deja vu. And so, they end up going together, and Mobius and Loki, they kind of have a little chase scene or whatever, and they're all trying to get Victor Timely because obviously Loki and Mobius need Victor Timely to save the TVA and the timelines, and Ravonna and Miss Minutes are like, let's burn this thing to the ground. And so I feel in summary for this episode, just so we can dive in by the end of this,
he runs to the Ferris wheel or whatever. And Sylvie is there, trying to kill him, and Loki's like, "Dude, you can't." And then she realizes he's a nice guy, and so she doesn't want to kill him. So that's what gets Renslayer and Miss Minutes to take him away, and they're on this boat. And then Ravonna and Kang are kind of falling in love, or Victor Timely, I guess. And he drops her off the boat because he's like, I don't do partners, which he had mentioned earlier.
Right.
And then they're like, is this episode 3 still, where they're hopped away in the shed? Yeah. And then so he's hidden away with Miss Minutes, and then she really creeps on him.
Miss Minutes is flirting, and it's really gross.
It wasn't flirting, it was scary.
It's she knew what she was already going to do. It's he told her to do all of this already before.
Yeah, she was give me a body so we can
be lovers.
Yeah, which is What?
Yeah, it was so weird.
come
And she like
from?
morphed into one of those like like body dummies or whatever.
Yeah, that was so gross. I was so scared.
I was like, oh my God, she just got scarier, and that was impossible because she was already a fucking floating orange.
terrifying.
But yeah, so she totally has a thing for Victor Timely. And again, in my mind, I'm constantly thinking Kang, He Who Remains, whoever is just telling her these things.
Well, this
to, like,
girl
set
has
him.
daddy issues because he invented her.
Exactly.
Yeah. So she should be looking at it like that, you know?
Right. And Ravona's kind of, I feel like, still kind of clueless at this point on what she's supposed to do. And Loki and Mobius, they arrive to the shed. And also with Sylvie, and Sylvie just wants to like beat Ravona's ass. You know, she's like, oh, I've killed you so many times, you know, in my mind. So Loki and Mobius get Victor Timely. They leave, and like Ravona and Sylvie end up, and Sylvie ends up sending Ravona back to the final scene of season 1 where Sylvie actually kills He Who Remains. And it looks the exact same. So that's the beginning.
And he's just there, slumped over on the chair.
He's just there, slumped over in the same fit. This is the beginning of episode
fit,
4.
hasn't changed. Same position.
Same, just sleeping. And so it's really cool to see this scene and like revisit it again because obviously it's all messed up. It's all trashed. I mean, so much went down in this last episode, and it was kind of cool to have like a little revisit to that and just realize, man, this is when like the multiverse began. This is what like jump started it all, you know. That's when we saw that purple color and we're like, oh my God, we're gonna look for it in every movie. And so Miss Minutes then appears, and she shows Ravona a scene of Kang and her from the past where Kang is like alluding that him and Ravona are gonna take over, and like she's gonna take over because she's done such a service to him, and they're going to be together, whatever. But we know
they're going to rule together.
But we know from the comics, historically in that they can never exist together. Kang hasn't found a timeline where they can exist together because she always dies.
Yeah.
And that's what he's always chasing. He doesn't know that as Victor Timely, but like he knows that in his other variants.
But he also like, doesn't he kill her too? Like they just don't get along.
It just never
They're
works.
very
It's very toxic. And then Miss Minutes then tells Ravona, they don't even need Kang. Like, we can just girl boss this shit. And then that's how that scene ends. So Victor Timely. Yeah, they can. I wouldn't team up with Miss Minutes, but maybe there's like a fucking grapefruit or something else around.
Never trust Miss Minutes.
Never. So Victor Timely is at the TVA with Mobius, Loki, and Sylvie now. They're obviously trying to get his help to stop the timelines with the multiverse from multiplying. They take him to Obi, and Victor remembers Obi's name from the TVA manual he received from Ravona and Miss Minutes in episode 3. And they're obviously both big fans of each other. They're like, you inspired my work. But he's like, you inspired my work.
Yeah.
And again, it's like, mindfuck. Oh my God. They both inspired each other at different times. It's just crazy. Time is a very interesting concept in this show.
It is like, what do you say? Like a snake eating itself? Yeah. Which is apparently what the word Ouroboros means.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So Obi, you know, fills in Victor Timely on the plan and everybody. So one of them is going to have to take the super multiplayer into the super launcher, which is like this big, you have to like go into space. Mobius did it in like episode 2. But he didn't succeed, whatever. And you go out this door and it's all the branch timelines around, and it's like obviously getting worse as time goes along. So using this, for example, you go out this door, the super launcher's here, or the temporal loom, and you have to go all the way up there, launch it into the loom. It's going to dock there. Then it's going to scale the property and the capacity to manage the backlog of all the branches that were created when He Who Remains was killed. So basically, they're gonna like open it up. They're gonna make the rings in the loom bigger so more branches can fit through. So like nobody like freaks out and explodes and like whatever.
Yeah, I understand that.
Science,
totally.
man. I know. I was not good at science,
that did
but
not go over my head, not even a little bit.
that was like word for word what he said in the episode. So I just was like, okay, let me just type this because I'm not gonna be able to explain that in my own words. But and so then they fight over who's actually going to do this, because Obi makes these little figurines to like show them, and they're pretty generic looking because the guy has a helmet on. And Loki's like, or Mobius is like, well, it's your turn, Loki. And Loki's like, what do you mean? That doesn't even look like me. And Sylvie's like, well, it has a helmet. It doesn't look like anybody. And the whole time Victor Timely's just there like, is anybody going to fucking ask me if I can help them? You know, because obviously he has some idea of all of it. He then proposes an idea for him and Obi to work on with his little gadget he has or whatever. And then
I was surprised that Victor Timely was so brave.
He was really brave for
I
being
felt
in that
like
situation.
he wasn't like the bravest, so that's not really his character. So I was surprised that he would like offer to do that.
It's almost like he knew.
Yeah.
He had these signals that were making him aware of the plan, you know?
Just gonna put my sweater on.
So then Mobius suggests to, at this point, go get some pie in very Mobius fashion. Oh, no.
Can't figure it out. You can go on.
So Mobius wants to go get some pie. You know, they have that really good key lime pie little staff room. And Sylvie's like, what the hell? Like, I don't want to go get pie. You brought me here to, like, end this shit. Why are we getting pie? You know, she calls him. It's kind of sad
Because he likes pie.
He likes pie.
Let him have his pie.
He just wants
She's
to like.
so mean.
She's so mean, and she just like. She's one of those people that doesn't live in the moment. You
Yeah.
know? And I think that's her fucking problem. I think
Yeah.
that's everybody's problem in this TVA.
She's always worried about
Time and
her
going
like,
back to McDonald's in
living.
the 80s.
Yeah,
like
living
I have
in
a
apocalypses.
right. I have a mullet and a nose ring now. Like I don't have to deal with you guys. I'm too cool.
Exactly. Like what?
And so she calls him out for finding out that he's a variant and he's not even looking back into his timelines and he's kind of being a coward about it all. She's not wrong, but I don't know. I have a soft spot for Mobius. I'm like, this guy is just like trying to do the right thing, not make it complicated, whether that's right or wrong. Like he's just not.
I think he's hiding from.
He's hiding from it.
He's scared.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's sad, and I feel for the guy. But and so then that scene ends, and then we're back with the TVA cop squad / Minutemen in their holding cell with Docs and B5 and Bradley. And they start arguing while B5 tries to hype everyone up by saying they all like earned their lives in the timeline that they were in, and we should do this, that, and that. Like we shouldn't let them win. And then B15 comes in and she tries to convince the general, Docs, and the Minutemen to help them and trust the TVA because they both love it, they respect it, and you could tell they're like thinking about it. Like Docs wants to do the right thing. She loves the TVA, but you're still like, I don't know what they're gonna do because Bradley's really sketchy. So then we go back.
He can't be trusted.
He can't be trusted. He's too vain. So then we go back to Sylvie and Loki in Pieland. And Loki, again, completely humanized here, but also just so badass and just like, I was very proud of Loki at this moment because of the way he handled things with explaining stuff to Sylvie. But he explains to Sylvie that like Mobius, again, is just trying to do the right thing. Like this guy has never really done anything bad to him that wasn't fair. Like, yeah, they might have not gotten along in the beginning, but he was being fair.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It was such an enemies to lovers storyline.
It was.
So nice.
I'm so here for their love triangle, honestly.
Yeah.
So Loki brings up that Thor again, was banished from Asgard and sent to Earth. And he said Thor changed and like he made fun of him for it when he came back and he was soft and stuff. But he's kind of like, I don't even know what that comparison.
It was beautiful.
It was cute to like hear him bring up Thor and everything. And again, humanized, even though he's a god. And he's kind of trying to leverage what Sylvie did by not killing Victor timely, that it saved a lot of people's lives. Like he's trying to tell her, hey, like what you did was really good. A lot of people lived because of it, as well as some of the TVA, like what they're doing. They're not bad people, you know? And Sylvie just wants to burn the entire place still. She's like, I'm not down, you know? Like this still isn't sitting right with me. And so then, you know, she's like, I don't want to play God. Like, I don't want to have to protect these timelines. Like, it's not what I signed up for. And Loki simply says, we are gods. And he walks away. And it was like mic drop moment. I was like, wow, I could hear his footsteps echoing.
That
well
was
into the next
another
scene.
like reminder to the audience.
I was like,
we are gods. And Loki is something bigger than we all
He is.
ever thought.
And I think we're about to see more of it too in this next. But I love that scene. Again, the growth of his character is amazing. Like he had a line in there where he's like, hope is hard. His arc has been like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful. And so then we go back to the Minutemen in their holding cell. Ravonna, of course, appears to them with Miss Minutes because now they're teaming up and they're trying to fucking destroy the TVA.
Yeah.
So Ravonna's trying to convince them to side with them. She promises anyone who joins her and helps destroy the TVA will have a permanent life on the timeline. That's a big bargain, you know? And Docs is like, I'm not doing that. She's like, I finally see the bigger picture. I want to do something better, you know, which was really cool to see her character. And that way, Ravonna ends up killing them all. They kind of get squished in that like
that
big
little
block.
box that they put Brad in before.
Brad's like, I'm not doing that again. So
Yeah.
he stands out And B-15, they leave, and then B-15 walks in to see what they did, and she is in shock.
Yeah, because they're all dead.
It's pretty intense.
Except for Brad.
Who
I guess is now a part of the Miss Minutes,
Ravonna and Miss Minutes, the girl boss team.
Yeah.
So now we're back with OB, and Victor is very impressed with this hot chocolate machine that
he
Mobius
loves it.
and he's like, oh my god, like I need one of those. What is that? And so then one of the TVA people takes him to the hot chocolate machine because Mobius is like, oh, just let him go because Mobius is a nice guy. He's like, yeah, this guy is from 1893. Let him see a fucking machine. And then at that point, Bradley runs up on him, captures him.
Yeah, kills this TVA agent.
Prunes him. And then Miss Minutes, we realize, is starting to take control of all the systems, so nothing's working. She's like overwriting everything. B-15 comes in and lets all of them know what happened to Dox and the Minutemen. They're like, oh no, this is getting worse. And then in the background, everything's just like the lights are going off. You can tell everything's like shitting. Victor's shitting. It's just shitting.
Taking a big old shit.
I couldn't think of a better word.
Shutting down.
Shutting down shitting. Sorry, I got it mixed up. So Victor is now back with Ravonna and Miss Minutes, and they're like interrogating him, and they're demanding him to give them his little temporal lobe device thing that he has.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of like giving him the runaround to like buy more time, which again is like, I feel like he's starting to like see the bigger picture here. He just like knows something.
He's like, these people are off.
Yeah, they're he's like, I've been here before.
The space wizards are nice to me. He's like, I like them.
Right. And so Loki and Sylvie go to try to find Victor Timely. They start getting separated because Miss Minutes is causing everything to mess up while they're trying to find him because like she obviously knows what's going on. She controls everything. Loki is running through the TVA while Sylvie is stuck in the golden elevator. And there's like this moment where you see him and he's wearing a jacket again and he like has like a pruner and he sees himself, which was the actual Loki we were watching, like roll up to the golden elevator and he's like, oh my God, they're that weaved in together now.
Yeah.
And so he has to prune himself in front of Sylvie and he's like, just trust me.
And then he's right behind her.
Yeah.
Right behind him. I mean,
she's like, what the what a mind fuck. Like, that's insane. And so
it is so hard for me to like understand what's going on.
Right. And then the phone there's just a phone right there ringing in the background. It's like, oh my God, who's it going to be? In my mind, I'm like thinking anybody. Is it going to be Thor? Is it going to be Rocket?
Probably like the wrong number.
Right. I'm like, oh shit. Oh,
that would have been telemarketer.
Funny. That would have been funny if it was like somebody from a different like show or movie or something, like whatever. And so they answer it and it's OB. And Obi's like, okay, we're going to reboot the entire system. That's the only way we can like do this. Miss Minutes is then taken offline. She starts glitching and she's like, oh no, they're like doing this, that, and that in her little accent.
Oh, it was amazing.
It was so nice to watch this.
Yeah.
I felt really happy after this. And she's like, oh, I have to tell you, Victor Timely. And she's like glitching. And she gets all evil and she's like, you'll never be him. It's like, oh. Okay.
Yeah.
And again, I think that she was told to say that to him because that was like igniting something in him for what he's about to do.
Maybe.
It was like just a little like hints set up for him to do what he's going to do.
You know what I just realized?
Yeah.
She's here.
Oh my God. No.
She's
Miss
here.
Minutes is live from the Lincoln Lodge. And so Obi and them, they continue to reboot the system. And B5/Bradley, he has a new timeline that enters. And he prunes Ravonna, and Loki and Sylvie get Victor again. They go back to Obi's. This is the final scene of the show. Anxiety is just all the way up here. They like lift up the curtains and everything's hitting the fan. You just see like the temporal lobe and all the timelines. It's going crazy. And they tell Victor, because they need his aura, they're going to have him put his head in the scanner to do this. So they put his hand in the scanner.
He's like so scared.
He's
too.
like, what? So he does it.
I would not put my head in anything
I'm like damn.
that.
Wait, yeah, I'm gonna get cancer or whatever. And so the curtains open again, and you see how crazy everything that's happening. Loki volunteers to do it and like walk out there and like do the switch or whatever. But Victor says it should be him again. Why is he so brave all of a sudden? Why is he so confident in this like weird timeline?
Because it has to be him.
Because it has to be him. He knew this. Like there was little things that were set up for him. There was something in that TVA manual or something. He suits up. He walks out, immediately turns into spaghetti.
Yeah, loved it.
Immediately, just
was like what?
Yeah.
That was my first. I was like, oh my God, this
I rewound it.
What is happening?
Because I looked away for a second and I'm like, oh my God, spaghetti.
They messed it up. Right? I was like, this is the wrong episode.
This can't be right.
Showing us? This can't be right.
And it was like the loudest silence after that because you see all their faces and you see this like close up of Loki where I think, again, humanized. He's starting to like cry, which I feel like we've never really seen him be like that emotional until this show. And he's like, it's almost like something's like switching off in his head too. Like he knows what he has to do. And Obi's like, oh, the temporal radiation, it's just too high. And the entire temporal loom is destroyed. You just see it disintegrate. And you just kind of zoom in on Loki. And that's how the episode ends. And it was just, holy shit, what just happened?
Yeah.
And that was episode 4.
Yeah, everything is going down around us. The TVA is blowing up. Loki, we do have a trailer though. There is a trailer for the episode 5 that comes out today.
Yeah.
And it seems like he's going to have to travel through the sacred timeline and pick up his squad.
Yeah.
And, you know, Mobius is selling jet skis.
Yeah. He goes to that dealership for sure. I think I saw that.
He's like, I need you back at the TVA. And he's like, it's gone. And he was like, I think you're talking about ATVs. And no, we just got 2 in, so I can help you. So I don't know how he's going to convince all these people.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's got to find like OB and Hunter B-15. I think she's in like scrubs and like a doctor's coat or something.
Yeah.
So she's like a doctor.
It's going to be.
So they have all these like lives outside of the TVA, but yet they obviously, then we are shown a scene where they're like kind of back together and he's kind of like, let's do this again. And they're all in their like clothes from the
other timelines. Yeah.
So somehow Space Wizard convinces them that they got to go with them.
Crazy. It's going to be such a good episode. I can't wait to watch it.
2 more episodes and that's it.
Oh, God, there's only 6.
6.
I thought there was going to be 8.
No, 5 and 6, and then that's it.
Oh my God.
Then we have to recap Invincible.
We do, which I'm totally happy with. But this Loki, it did take me a little bit longer to get excited about this season, just because it's been so long since season 1.
Yeah.
But man, it's so easy to get into. It's so good.
It's so good. It's such a good starting off for Phase 5. Like,
yeah, this is what they needed.
I couldn't think of a better.
Yeah.
Because everybody had lost faith.
Everybody. I mean, I kind of did a little bit too. I never lose complete faith.
We did call it. We were like, this is DC's year.
Yeah, and I still think it might be, but man,
Marvel's going to give them a run for their money.
Right. They have a redemption arc planned, and Loki might be it, honestly.
Yeah.
Really excited to see where they go with these next couple episodes, because obviously this season picks up before Ant-Man Quantumania, so it could lead into something with what happens in that movie. Will they go to the Void? Will they see Goliath? Will we see Crocodile Loki? Will we see all the other Lokis?
Love to see Crocodile Loki.
Yeah.
Again.
Did Victor plan it all along? Will Loki sacrifice himself? There's so much that could happen.
Loki the actual head of the TVA? There's so many things that are so unanswered.
Some people are saying that though.
But yeah, we'll find out. So keep joining us on Relatable Nerds wherever you get your podcasts. And now we are on YouTube as well. So that's very exciting. So check us out there. Thank you guys again for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.